Sandy Munro was skeptical of Lucid Motors' prototype when he first saw it, and he continued to be skeptical of the firm afterwards. Everything about the automobile, from its design to its production procedure, was criticized by the engineer. Nevertheless, Munro has since changed his tune. After watching the engineering behind the Lucid Air, Munro had quite different feedback. Watch the video till the end to know what he said about the engineering behind the Lucid Air. Welcome back to New Vehicle Media, your go-to channel for EV stock. Quick reminder that subscribing's free and liking the video helps YouTube suggest similar content. Comments are loved and featured in upcoming videos. Remember, Lucid Motors recently launched a new YouTube series called Techtalks. It's a 10-episode series explaining the engineering behind the Lucid Air. Sandy Munro had some issue with Lucid being secretive about its tech. But now, after watching the first episode of Techtalk, Munro might have a change of mind. Munro reacted to the Techtalk video of Lucid Motors. Munro had a strong desire to disassemble the Lucid Air, as well as the batteries and the packs themselves, in order to see the sorcery behind the Air Sedan. That's why when Lucid was first released, he was eager to get his hands on it and dismantle it for himself. But given that just a few of the Lucid Airs are in customer hands, it's hard for them to get hands on these sedans. Munro believes that if Lucid does their YouTube series of tech presentations, it'll save them between $300,000 and $400,000. There's no doubt that Munro is more than pleased with Lucid for saving them huge money. But for Lucid Motors, the YouTube series will most likely benefit sales, and it is clearly teaching individuals who are not necessarily engineers, and it's teaching the principle of how everything works. During CEO Peter Rawlinson's explanation on driving efficiency in terms of watt-hours per mile, Munro referred to 250 watt-hours per mile as being the objective in terms of optimal efficiency. You have to take into account the whole system, including the aerodynamics and rolling resistance of your motor technology, which is why the largest battery packs in sedans are often 80 to 90 to 100 or 110 kilowatt-hours in capacity. According to Munro, the size of the battery is just one component that must be considered, as well as the effectiveness of the electric motors, the friction coefficients, and of course, the weight, which increases as the number of batteries increases. The more weight you're putting on affects your capacity to generate watt-hours per mile, and the MPGE is the statistic that most engineers prefer to pay attention to while running. But he was impressed with the Lucid Air keeping that MPGE on the high side, even with the added weight of the large battery. When Munro saw the small drive system of the Lucid Air, he thought it was very clever. He said that Ford had a more compact unit than Lucid, but the Air Sedan unit is way more powerful. That's the reason why their slowest cars clock in at about 550 or 600 horsepower. In his remarks, Munro liked Lucid's battery pack solution and said that the center bus power notion, also known as the central spine idea for power, was probably the greatest thing that they had going. He even goes on to say that he doesn't see anybody that's got anything better than that, which is quite amazing given that these are the words of someone who has been skeptical of the company's operations in the past. When Peter Rawlinson was talking about the orientation of the battery cells and how they're positioned upside down, Munro said it makes sense to put the cooling plate underneath since that's where all that heat will end up. Munro appreciated that Lucid had placed the electronics or electrical connections at the bottom of the case and that the cooling plate was placed on the top of the case, creating a great combination. Staying on the cooling topic, Munro has a lot of positive things to say about Tesla, but he's not a fan of the side cooling strategy. He said that he preferred the concepts that are coming from Rivian and Lucid. Cooling from the bottom definitely has a significant benefit over side cooling, and it means you can keep the car profile low. Lucid wanted these sedans spacious and luxurious, and still keeping it low profile and to feel precisely like a luxurious internal combustion engine car, which meant streamlined and not having a tower body as Tesla models had. Munro was quick to notice wire bond aluminum. He described it as thick and a bit different in appearance from the majority of other manufacturers. Everyone uses a very thin cable, since the amount of current there is so little. It is, however, the way in which Lucid first bonds these items together and then goes about collecting them that is quite significant. So, all of these components are connected in a series, and then there are the collector bars, which are the solid pieces of aluminum. Munro was amazed with how Lucid had ingeniously connected all of these pieces together to ensure that they would not short out. If you take a glance at the first collector plate, you'll see that they're all connected to the negative terminal. When it comes to parallel in series, Munro compliments Rawlinson for doing a fantastic job describing it. In the end of the reaction video, Munro thanks Lucid and Peter Rawlinson for putting the video out there. To witness this degree of detail was gratifying because this is exactly what Munro has been doing for the previous 2 years. Munro had some little things that he did not agree with Lucid, but he ended up with an overall positive review. He was very impressed with the MPGE range perspective despite the added weight of the battery cells. After watching the whole tech video, that's what Munro has to say about Lucid Motors and Peter Rawlinson.
From an MPGE range perspective,
I don't know much about Peter, but I can tell you for sure that after watching this, he's my kind of guy. He is definitely a detail kind of person. I mean, somebody probably wrote a script, and like you say, there's a lot of razzle dazzle in this video. But still in all, somebody has to eventually. This is not a puppet. This is the CEO and president of a company, and I don't see that happening too much. I can't think of apart from Elon Musk, I can't think of any other president and CEO could pull this off.
But, of course, I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are on the Lucid Techtalk and Munro's positive review. Do you think this'll help boost up confidence and brand image? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Uber Adventure said that he would like to see Lucid license their technology to a company that is planning to build more hybrid cars. That should wrap things up for today. Keep in mind that subscribing's still free and liking helps YouTube recognize your preferences. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.